Live, welcome to our talk today here in the Entrepreneur and Business Owner Support Group and Training Community, hosted by me, John Lavenia, and Shannon Lavenia, who is in the other office right now, working with a client. I'm glad to be here with you today, talking about how to choose what you spend your time on that's going to make the biggest impact in your business, which is a vital topic because, I know a lot of times in the motivational and business success kind of community, there's a lot of talk of time management, which I think is kind of a misnomer. How do you manage time? Well, no, we manage activities, which means we have to manage our attention, that because the time's going to go on regardless, right? So I want to talk with you about that today, give you a few ideas that will help you move the needle sooner rather than later in your business. Now, if you're seeing this on a different platform, YouTube or Instagram or wherever, feel free to click the link to subscribe, as well as you can join our group for free right on Facebook. Just go ahead, and if you're finding this on Facebook, click the thing and you'll join the group. I'll leave a link in the description below as well. So to get into this idea here today, I want to start with first an acknowledgement of you. If you're watching this, then you're probably already a busy person and you have some field of expertise. That's great. You're good at something. Okay. That doesn't mean you're great at everything. Neither am I. I can't be all things to all people. I don't have a magical cape and mask. It's been on back order for a long time, right? So I've got to pick which things am I going to put my attention on to sort of work in my zone of genius, as Shannon likes to say, our zone of genius. So with that in mind, there's going to have to be some things that we say no to. If we're going to say yes to certain things, there's going to be some things that we say no to. And this is the essence of prioritization, because everything has a cost to it, what we call an opportunity cost. So the first thing that you want to do in considering which activities that you want to, afford your attention to, which is again is a finite quantity. Here's the amount of attention you have for today, and you're going to spend it all. Okay, well, let's choose where we're going to spend it profitably, where we're going to invest it profitably. Because if I say yes to this, that means I have to say no to all these other things, right? That's called opportunity cost. Costs me these other opportunities to say yes to this one. With that in mind, what is your zone of genius? So if you're vague about that, well, then you'll be vague about how to prioritize, which is really the essence. I heard it said if you got more than 3 priorities, then you don't have any. Okay, so we've got to prioritize. So the first thing we want to consider is the things that we do better than almost anybody else in the world, that if we put our attention on that, and forsaking these other things, okay, but if we put our attention on these things, it's going to move the needle in our business. Now, in my case, I've been in the sales space for a long time. I could sell in my sleep. Okay. I'm not bragging about that, but after 25 years, you tend to get good at stuff. And I've got a knack for this, right? Which is really, it just comes down to being able to communicate and help people get what they want. People make a big deal out of sales. We do it every day. Okay. But I'm really good at that. I'm also really good at technology, like in terms of automations and helping businesses get, leads and convert into sales and all that. So that's the world that I play in. Am I an expert at designing websites? No. And I've done it. And that's how I know. I'm not just telling you my opinion about it. Like, I think I suck at it. No, I've demonstrated and can prove that I suck at it. Hence, we hire artists and designers. They work for us, right? And they're good at it. And why are they good at it? Because they've got an aptitude for it. And why do they have an aptitude for it? Because they're interested in it. That's their zone of genius. I wrote about this in my first book, Integrity is Everything, how interest renders aptitude. I dropped trigonometry in high school. I sucked at it. No aptitude. And why? No interest. What am I going to use this stuff? I'm not interested in trigonometry. Now, other people, hell yeah, sign me up for trigonometry. Not my world, right? So again, considering your zone of genius, where can you apply your attention that will move the needle in your business? Now, with something like sales, like in my case, well, that's easy, right? Put me in front of the client, have me in communication. In fact, I remember an interview with Dan Kennedy, the great copywriter. The interviewer said, well, how can you assure anyone that they could double their income? And he said, oh, that's easy. Just double the amount of time you spend in front of customers, right? So instead of all the other busy work, double the amount of time you spend in front of customers. That's an easy equation to figure out. But that brings up another consideration. If we're always in the, let's say, sales mode, All right. So using myself as an example, if we're always in sales mode, whether we're selling our own stuff or other people's stuff, when do you ever get off that treadmill? Great question. So this would be what we call a low leverage activity, a low leverage activity. Whereas the web design, let's say, or like the photo shoot or the video shoot. In fact, all day today, we've been in Shannon's being featured on a TV show. So there've been film crews. Like our whole day has been film crews today. Does that make us money right now in this exact moment? No, no. But is it exposure going forward into the future? Oh, yeah. So that would be considered a high leverage activity. So what we have to consider is a balance between low leverage activities like go make money now and high leverage activities, which may or may not make us money now, but being able to defer gratification a little bit for a sustained win, that's worth it too. So I want you to consider, as the old saying goes, if you have more than three priorities, you don't have any. I want you to consider three priorities. One of them should be a low leverage activity that is expedient. Okay, so we can move the needle right now with the choices we make, and we're going to afford a portion of our attention to that. Let's say that's one item. All right, an immediate gratification sort of an action. Okay, an income producing activity that can bear fruit now, like today, right? I mean, why not? So, because you've got buyers, right? If we're just talking about sales and marketing, you've got buyers here on planet Earth. There's 7.5 billion people. I'm sure there's some of them that want your stuff right now. Maybe you just need to make it known. Maybe it's a past customer you haven't talked to in 2 years. You pick up the phone and reconnect. That would be a low leverage activity. Fine. So pick one low leverage activity, or probably the better way to say it would be an expedient income producing activity that you can do today. All right. So that could be a portion of your attention. And again, attention's a finite quantity. You will spend it all. You don't get to keep it for tomorrow. Okay. The second thing you'd want to put your attention on is a high leverage activity. What can you do to build or to continue to progress in some project that may not bear fruit today, may not even be done today, but you can see the needle moving, because that's also a win. Understand, and I've said it often, done is my favorite four-letter word. I got other four-letter words I like too, but done is my favorite, D-O-N-E, done. All right, so if I get a project or a portion of a project done and I see the needle moving, even though it didn't bring me money in this exact moment, okay, that's still a win. That is still gratification right now, not just delayed gratification. That's instant gratification. Why? Because I had integrity. I did something. I produced something. Now, in a case of a high leverage action, well, then, it may or may not come to fruition in this moment. Okay. But because we're intelligent people, you and me, we can think about the longer game, right? When a farmer plants the seed, he's not, pissed off because the corn didn't grow in 15 seconds. No, there's a gestation period, right? So that's more of a high leverage activity. So you want to sow some seeds is the bottom line. So one action that you could do today is something that could bring you money today. Okay, and that's a done, right? So you did that. You picked up the phone. You published the thing. You placed the ad, right? So there you go. Low leverage or I'm sorry, a high leverage or sustained growth activity. That would be the second thing. So pick a project, not 10 million projects. Pick a project that you can move the needle on now, whether it pays you today or not. And the third thing that you could focus your attention on, because you can't really take on more than three. I know some people think they're excellent multitaskers. No, it's just shifting your attention a lot, right? Shifting your focus a lot. Personally, I don't get things done, or I don't get them done as well if I'm shifting my focus a lot, right? So in fact, if you think about the anatomy of success, it's completing what you start, right? So I successfully I made a decision that I was going to, eat breakfast today. And so I prepared the breakfast, I ate the breakfast, I cleaned up after breakfast. That was a successful action. That whole cycle occurred and it's done, right? So now that seems like, and it is a menial, inconsequential thing, but it was a successful action nonetheless, from decision to completion. All right. All the undones, all the 10 million projects. And I know, because you're an entrepreneur, right? All the 10 million projects that aren't done, aren't moving the needle, and they're not gratifying at all. They're the baggage that weighs more and more and more. I take on more stuff. No. Don't do it. Don't do it. Okay. So the third thing that you can focus on is either one of those two, right? So we have an instant gratification activity, and then we have more of a high leverage activity. Third is your choice. Okay. And if you've got like lots of leads to follow up with, well, then let it be the immediate gratification activity, which also gratifies the customers too, because they're hearing from you. Right. And if it's, right now, it's not like, you got all this follow up to do, but you do have multiple projects. Well, then great. Pick the one that you also want to move the needle on. So maybe it's one, instant gratification sort of action with 1/3 of your attention, and then two that are more of a high leverage, delayed gratification sort of a thing. All right. So there's some ideas for you. Just remember, there's opportunity cost to everything. So when assessing, where am I going to spend my attention, and I have to spend it all today, I can't keep it for tomorrow, right? You just want to look at what are you saying yes to and why? And therefore, here's all the things you're saying no to. And it's okay. And a lot of times people have a hard time saying no to stuff. Well, there's an opportunity cost to everything. If I say yes to this, I have to say no to that. Choose, right? And then you'll know, because, I mean, you've been working your business for however long, you'll know, or by observing others, you'll know which are the things that you want to prioritize for yourself, for your immediate and your long-term growth. Hope you got some ideas out of this, right, that you can apply right now. And if nothing else, and I'm not accusing you of this, but if nothing else, I got you thinking about, not so much investing your time with diversions, right? So, because the alternative to all of this would be diversions, right? Scrolling endlessly through social media or vegging out in front of, I don't know, Netflix or something. Again, I'm not accusing you of that, right? But that's also attention that you are spending if you find yourself in diversions a lot. I can go a lot further into this, and with our clients, we've got a whole exercise that takes a couple of weeks to complete it that actually tracks, like, where does every minute of your time go? It's pretty awesome, and it's pretty intense, and it freaks people out sometimes because they see, oh my goodness, that's where my time's been going. Yeah, that's where it's been going. So it's good to track these things. We're not going to get into it here, okay? But the principle of it is prioritize your time. There is no time management. Prioritize where you're going to put your attention, and therefore which activities you're going to choose to participate in at any given time throughout your day. I'd love to hear your comments. Go ahead and click the like, subscribe, or whatever channel you're seeing this on. We've got free trainings every week, plus ancillary stuff that we do, and we'd love to hear from you. So go ahead and leave a comment. And if you want to connect with us personally, ourselves, our staff, we do free consultations for people who are looking to expand some area of their business, whether that's lead generation, promotions, sales, automations, delegations, bringing on staffs, and that sort of thing. You can go ahead and visit ceofreedom.com/free strat, as in free strategy session. All right. So we'll spend 15 minutes together, see what's going on with your business and how we might be able to help you out. So again, ceofreedom.com/free strat, and perhaps I'll see you on another video here real soon. Make it a great day. Bye for now.